Yeah.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Tea time.
Tea time. Tea time. Cheers.
Drake song. Tea
Cheers.
time.
How's your tea?
Tea is good, man.
Tea's good. Where'd you get it from? Did you make it, or did you?
Green tea, just the bag.
Ah,
It's a good tea, man. I think I'm starting to drink green tea and black tea now.
stop the cap.
Bro, I'm trying. Okay. Is it good for your body?
Is it?
Yeah, you know, actually, our boy Sufi,
Ah,
he told me that he likes to drink black tea. He says it's good for you. And since I work out, I should drink black tea.
ah.
I can't do that shit, bro. That shit
Rough.
nasty as hell, bro.
Rough.
It makes me like that's how I feel, bro.
Like that?
Legit.
It's like that.
I take one sip, I'm like, oh hell no. But anyway,
Welcome back.
welcome back to our
Welcome
channel.
back again. We're in the same spot.
Same spot.
Same spot.
Same,
Same outfit.
Yeah, I guess we're just trying to record a couple of videos.
Yeah.
Just because
We have
we
time.
finally found good time and a beautiful day, right? Like we
amazing.
said in our
Amazing.
last video, obviously. Beautiful day outside. So, what better time that we can always be together
Yeah.
and then record these videos because we don't really get much time since life's been busy lately. So, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hope you guys are enjoying your time, your life, whatever you guys are doing with, wherever you guys are in the world, right? Enjoy your life to the fullest as much as you can, because this time is not gonna come back. And
Should we change your name to Baba? Baba Rushi?
Saint,
Saint.
I'm a saint. I mean, technically, I am the most innocent person on the planet Earth, so we can all agree on that. So, you know, don't
I'm gonna do
listen
the
to
Indian nod. Okay, buddy.
Don't. He's not. There's a word called harami. That's what he is.
Don't tell them that.
Anyways, I think we want to talk about today's topic will be about positive and negativity.
Yeah.
So positivity and negativity, and we're just gonna. There's no really like, oh, we're gonna talk about this. It's just we're gonna talk about what is positive, what is negative.
Yeah. How it affects us, what we
Yeah.
do to overcome that.
That little situation.
Yeah, that is a situation,
Yeah.
and then how we move forward.
Or like, how do we take it?
Yeah. How it affects us. You know.
Because no matter how close me and him are, we still are completely opposite on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Well, most of the times. Which is good because it balances out,
Mhm.
you know, sometimes when we need it to be.
Mhm.
And then, obviously, sometimes we're on the same page.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you want to start with, like how? Because I think on change, let's start with that.
Okay.
So in change, we talked about how change can be either positive or negative.
Yeah.
But you know how people say that, oh, change is always negative because they've experienced so much, or they haven't tried it. You know, because I feel like change is neutral.
It's an afraid moment when a lot of change comes in your life, right? When you're used to something being the way that is, and then you try to change it, like make a whole 360 to change that whole thing. It's you realize your comfort zone that you're in,
Yeah.
right? And then putting that step forward to make that change is hard. It's difficult for anyone, like
Yeah.
even for you, even for me at times, right? It's not an easy thing. So in that moment, like how you look at it, how you're seeing that change affects, right? What the situation is.
But I feel like, you know how what I'm trying to say is, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that I feel like change is neutral. Like,
Yeah.
Change can never be, oh, this change is going to be positive. You can never define that
No.
because what can be positive to you can be negative to me.
Yeah.
But what can be negative to me could be positive to you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So change is one of those things where you experience it, then a person decides whether that specific change that they made in their life, whether that was positive or whether that was negative, right?
Yeah.
But people are just like you said, you mentioned, is so afraid that they always just think that, oh, if they're gonna change, they're gonna be negative
Yeah.
about things, right? Which is why we're talking about what's positive, what's negative, right?
Mhm.
There's no true definition.
No.
I wouldn't say that there's any definition to what is positive or what is negative or what those two actually word mean. It's basically a plus minus symbol.
It's how you look at things. And it's exactly person to person. It varies. Different person would have a different mindset about the situation. So it's always good to listen to other people and get their opinion, pick their brain, right, of how they see the situation.
Yeah.
So.
But I also feel like don't just blindly also believe what everybody is saying, because sometimes at least for me,
Mhm.
I've come across a person that's like so negative that no matter how positive you try to be with them, they'll just be negative.
Okay.
You know, it's just like
it's a nature.
it's just
it's
yeah, they
it's their
just wanna
nature.
be.
Yeah.
If they don't be negative, they don't feel the same. You know, I don't know what it is, man.
Yeah.
It frustrates me because like
Okay.
they're the ones that come to me to talk to about something, right? But then, how can I help you when you're being so negative about something
Mhm.
when I'm trying to be positive about? Okay, you know what? Like this is the outcome, but let's look at this way.
Yeah.
You know, like let's look at this side of it, because I'm trying to help you see that side, the positive side that you're not looking at. But you're so negative that you're not listening to me, right? So I would say like don't also listen so blindly to somebody that's so deeply negative that it's also gonna start affecting you, because
Yeah.
it's definitely affected me.
Well, first of all, like you want to try staying away from those type of people, and then if you're not getting your point across them, what is the point? It's gonna be a cycle, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
a cycle of like, okay, you tell them one thing, like, hey, try doing this, and then they try it, and then a few days later, nothing changes. They come back with the same thing.
And who better to talk about cycles than me?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like that, but I'm just saying, right? Like, you see, my life's a cycle in a way too. Like your life is a cycle in a way. Everyone has a cycle, right? Where they hit that point where it's just like, I don't know what to do. Like,
Yeah.
how should I go about this, Rob? So
You're right.
I don't know.
You're right. I think I agree with that too. But at the same time, I feel like, you have to, as much as the positivity is important,
Mhm.
negative is also important too, because negative things that happen in your life can also make you a better person. It's not only that the positive things can make you a better person.
Well, negative is a mindset, right? It's your thoughts. So I don't agree with that fully.
Well,
like
what I'm trying to, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to cut you off,
No,
but
no,
what
no,
I'm
no.
trying to, I'll rephrase it. What I'm trying to say is,
rephrase it. Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is that because we're talking about negativity as a whole, right?
Okay.
What I'm saying is there are some things that can happen negatively in your life
Okay.
that you can learn from, that can help you grow. I'm not talking as a mindset. As a
so like,
mindset,
so like
know-
here, it can be a negative experience
exactly.
that you've had.
That's what I
That
meant.
yeah, so a negative experience can definitely help you grow, right?
Yeah.
That will like just a flip. It's like, okay, this what happened. This experience had happened.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do to change it,
Yeah.
right? So,
And I think that helps you grow as a person too.
yeah.
Because I think we're not focusing really on what is negative mindset and what is a positive mindset.
Mhm.
We can definitely talk about it.
Mhm.
I feel like we should talk about it as a different like a video.
Yep.
But right now we're talking about what is negative and what is positivity, right?
Yeah.
So I was talking in sense of like negative experience, like
Yeah.
what if you come across a negative experience, like don't just feel like just because you had a negative experience your life is screwed.
Mhm.
It's not, because you can learn from it. And
Yeah.
I mean, I know that. I mean, you know that too about me, because whenever I've become so negative, before, I've met my significant other, even now I tell you too. I tell her as well. But like, you've known me for so long that
Mhm.
you've known that I've had those type of moments in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm talking to you, it helps me. By talking to you, it helps me look at, okay, you know what, this is what I can take away, this is what I can learn from.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't talk about it, I'm not gonna learn, because
Yeah.
I'm looking, okay, yeah, it just happened, it's a bad thing in my life, whatever, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm screwed.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's what I meant. But yeah, if you're talking about like negative mindset, I feel like, I don't know if you agree with this, but this is my personal opinion. I feel like negative mindset, no matter what, you're gonna have negative thoughts, right? But I feel like you should try to control it, because if you let that basically go haywire, then there's no way you can become a positive person. Because I've seen people who constantly talk about negative things so much that even if you try to, like I said before, if you try to convey a message to them in a positive way, they just take it as a negative way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because their thoughts, their mindset have become so negative that they're just in their own world. And they're, oh no, he's a negative person. He's whatever he's saying is not true.
Mm.
Because whatever they think is right. But I always believe that you should always get a second opinion, and then it's up to you, right? Because at the end of the day,
it's your choice.
At the end of the day, it's your choice.
It's your choice. Do what you prefer, right? Do what you prefer.
Yeah.
But if advice or some people think about it as a lecture to them, but it's not a lecture.
Yeah.
At a time, it's an advice. And if you're very close with that person, it's coming from the heart, right?
Yeah.
It's not an advice even at that point. It's coming from the heart. So listen to it, put in your head what you want, and then if you think the rest of the other stuff is bullshit, take it out, right? Like, take in what you think is beneficial to you, and then use that as your motivation.
Yeah.
To
Just
get
think about it.
Think about it.
Think.
Yeah. Think about it.
Because if that person is that close to you, obviously he doesn't want to hurt you. He doesn't want to harm you.
Yeah.
Now that statement can be false, because there are some people, even if they are close ones,
Yeah.
they will still try to, pray for your downfall. Because I've been in that kind of scenarios before. Like your close ones could also pray for your downfall. But what I'm trying to say is not everybody is like that.
Yeah. Not everyone's.
So
like that.
always give that kind of like second thoughts to, like, okay, you know what? Let me think about what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Then, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, you yourself. I mean, like you said, it comes down to you. You have to make decisions for yourself. Nobody's gonna make decisions for you. Because if you let somebody make decisions for you, that's basically you're giving them your life. You don't want to do that.
It's a choice that you're making, right? It's a choice to listen to the other person first of all, and then after that, it's a choice. What do you want to do? It's your choice, right? You cannot just keep that as it is. Like, just okay, I'm not do anything about it. So, and now if that's your choice, it's your choice. Like, do you? Right?
Let me ask you a question.
Tell me.
So, would you say that, because I feel like if you don't even give a thought to somebody that's close to you about what they're saying, I feel like that's also kind of like a negative mindset.
What do you mean by a thought?
Like for example, you know how like me and you. So for example, me and you talk about a lot of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know how I have a lot of like life problems, obstacles that have occurred, and if I didn't listen to you, or even because you're close to me, right?
Yeah.
If I didn't even give a chance to just kind of like think about what you said, right? Then I would say that I have a pretty negative mindset, because you're close to me. You're kind of like my brother.
Okay.
So why would I not give a thought? Because you don't mean no harm to me,
Mm.
you know? So what I'm trying to, I don't know how to explain
No,
it properly.
no. I see what
But
you.
but you get
I-
you get what I'm saying.
I have a
right?
family member who's doing exact same thing right now. I'll be open. I don't care.
Yeah.
They like, it, in their mindset, just because I'm young, they don't want to take advice from me. And then they'll keep their ego intact,
Yeah.
right? So I see exactly what you're saying.
So I feel like that's also a negative mindset because
It is, and then it's not doing any good to them.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, is not doing any good to them by not listening to any other people, right? Even if it's the best of best, that you know if a person is capable of doing, like perform, study, whatever it is at their highest level, and they're still not listening, then it's the choice they're making,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can try, like I try like to make this person understand, but it's a choice. They don't want to listen. So what do? Keep trying,
keep trying.
right?
Or just, well, I wouldn't say necessarily give up, but also at some point in time, you have to also make decision for yourself. You can't just keep trying so much to a person that's like a brick wall. You know,
I
like,
see.
because if this is a wall and you keep punching it but you can't get through it, then why would you even try? Because you're hurting
Yeah.
yourself ultimately. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, and then ultimately it's hurting you because they're not listening to you.
But like you
Right.
said, closest to you.
Yeah.
Right. So
Well, I mean,
gotta keep trying.
there's
in that
you have to
sense.
find that balance, right?
Yeah, balance. is
Yeah,
good,
at
so.
some point you have to be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna walk away for now. I'm
Come
not
back,
gonna say
yeah,
anything.
just come back.
If they want to come back to me and talk about it, I'll let it be.
Yeah.
You know, but until then, I'm not. Because I mean, I'm the same way. You know, I also have family members. I'll be open about it too, that are so negative, right? They don't listen. They don't want to listen to me because, like you said, I'm also young, right? I wouldn't say I'm like God,
Yeah,
but
no,
I
no,
feel
no,
like
no,
I'm
nothing.
I'm at a good maturity level where I understand things.
Yeah.
Because I like to observe things
Mm-hmm.
and I talk based on my observations,
Okay.
right? So, like all these things that we're talking about, I talk because, and I'm able to talk because I'm observing things,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, based on observations, I learn, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if I'm wrong at a certain point, you can tell in the comments. You know, we can talk about it, but I feel like nobody's truly wrong or right because everybody has their own ways of looking
course,
at things.
Yeah. Agree
right?
with that.
Because
Agree with that.
something to me, like me and him were discussing on how to take this topic. We were talking about it a little bit before the video. Something that is negative to me could be positive to you,
yeah.
but the positive to you could be negative to me.
Yeah.
You know, but ultimately it all depends on how a person takes
Yeah.
that specific thought or that specific situation or that specific experience for themselves.
Even if the advice is given to you, and then even if that little bit of the advice is still in your head, that means that you're trying.
Yeah.
Right? Like at least you're listening.
Yeah.
It's going through your head. It's
Yeah.
just not going like right above your head.
Yeah.
So.
But I feel like
try. It's a try, work in progress for both.
trial and error.
Right. It's a work in process for both of the people, right? Give. Right? So.
Give and take. You know, I mean, give and give, yeah, give and take. However you want to take it, it's a trial and error ultimately, right? If you don't like it, then you know that that's something that didn't work for you, which is it doesn't do any harm to you.
Nothing's a harm.
You know, but I feel like if you don't think positively and don't take away positive things out of your experience, even if it's bad experience, you have to take the positives out of it.
Yeah.
If you don't look at those and you constantly focus on, oh no, this is bad, this experience is bad, this thought was bad, whatever he said is bad, if you just keep focusing on negative and don't even give like even a 5% thought or 5% take away from that negative, like the positive things, then you can't grow. Ultimately, we all want to grow as a person.
Yeah.
You know, that's what me and you are here
Mhm.
for, right? The reason why we're doing this podcast is to obviously help us grow.
Yeah,
you know?
ourselves.
And if we can help somebody else,
Us, yeah.
then
Our
you know.
and then like, of course, someone else can be have a different point of view that
Yeah.
they can share.
Yeah.
So, like again,
Yeah.
our thoughts, like at least for me, is very small.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, for me too. I mean, on a daily basis, I do talk a lot, as you can see in these videos.
No?
You know, I have a lot of like human interaction daily
Mm.
because I'm constantly at my business.
Yeah.
I'm talking to a lot of people. I talk about a lot of intellectual topics with them, just because that's something I like to do. You know, I personally feel like intellectual topics have been kind of vanished. A
Mm.
lot of people don't talk about this positive, negative things, or positive, negative energy, or positive, negative experiences with each other because everybody's so self-centered and narrow-minded that they don't care about others, which is
Mm.
fine. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that, you know, being self-centered is a bad thing,
Yep.
right? But I feel like you have to give a chance, right?
Mhm.
Because if those people who are self-centered, they feel like, because I'm pretty sure I've met across and came across people that feel like those self-centered people feel like that they deserve a chance.
Mhm.
So then my question to them would be, why don't you feel like other people deserve a chance, you know?
Mm.
So I get it that you want to be self-centered, but that's your own choice, personal
Mhm.
choice, and I respect it. But at the same time, you also want to be treated like how other people are being treated, right?
Yeah.
So you have to ultimately give somebody a chance. It's that chance, right? But when you decide that you don't want to give a chance, that's again, it's a negative thing, right?
Yeah. It's
Uh-huh.
the that chance is a positive, right?
Yeah.
You want to come across, and for for yourself too. Like you, main thing, at least for this topic is you want to be as positive as you can be,
Yeah.
right? And then if that positive thoughts are being sidetracked, talk to other people. Talk to other people for advice, in whatever situation that you're going
Yeah.
through, right? So yeah, that's about it for me at least. Anything else to wrap up this video for you?
I feel like the one thing that we can talk about is that before wrapping up, a quick couple of minutes, I would say, is because it was as I was thinking about this video, I was thinking about how in today's world,
Mm-hmm.
basically after COVID, um, and I guess this relates back to like people being so self-centered and narrow-minded. I feel like the first thing somebody would focus on, whether it's thought process, energy level, experiences, situation, whatever you want to take it,
Mhm.
right? The first thing anybody focus on is the negatives,
Mm.
the cons.
Mm.
Nobody looks at the pros
Mm.
because the cons are so heavy.
Is
right?
it?
It's not
So,
heavy.
No. That's where that whole point comes from. Like,
It's not so heavy, right? But it feels heavy. Does that make sense?
it makes sense, but you can turn those heavy cons into positive cons.
But that's the thing.
Right.
A lot of people don't
Right.
do that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No.
That nowadays it's that con kind of like almost outweighs the pros.
Yeah.
Even though there's so many pros, there can be like 10 list of pros and 3 cons. But those 3 cons
Will
will
affect
be
them.
affecting those 10 pros.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I don't get. It's like, wait. Like for example, right? I met this guy.
Oh.
He wanted to change career path.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's a buddy of mine from college.
Okay.
So he doesn't want to do what he's doing right now,
Okay.
which is the automotive stuff.
Okay.
He wants to do something completely different.
Mm.
He wants to actually go out and what do you call those?
Salesman?
No,
Or
those people that do
marketing?
critics of people's
Oh, food critic or like
No,
any
no,
kind of
no.
critic.
insurance thing. So like they decide whether how much money that this
A
piece,
broker.
this like piece should get paid. I don't know what it is. I actually don't know what it is. He didn't explain me properly, but he was looking. He went to somebody else's house.
Okay.
Apparently he has a license for it. You need a license for it.
Yeah.
But he went to somebody's house and then he looked at a piece and
Claims
then he
insurance, basically.
yeah,
Okay. that's
something like
claims.
that.
Okay.
So he wanted to do that,
Okay.
but he was thinking that obviously there's not so much money into it because a lot of people don't like to go that route.
Of course.
They don't like to have somebody look at and tell them that this is how much it will be worth, right? So there's not a lot of money involved, but
Okay.
that's something that made him happy.
Okay.
There were some other pros that he told me.
Mm-hmm.
There was like only the biggest con was that he doesn't make that much money. He makes good enough to be well settled.
Okay.
Because when you find the right person,
Mhm.
you can be making bank.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But aside from that, he just looked at that one con, ignored all the pros.
Mm.
He's doing something that he doesn't even want to do. On top of that, he's also failed a couple of times,
Okay.
right? So I'm like, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your time, you're unhappy. He's unhappy. He doesn't like to be there. Whenever we're in the lab, we're doing something, right? I don't have all the classes with him, but so far, whatever courses I had with him, he's just never happy. He's always grumpy, he's cranky, he doesn't like to ask questions, he doesn't like to be asked questions.
Okay.
So it's like, why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's so many cons that you don't want to do this,
Yeah.
but you're still doing it. There's no pros for it. The only reason why he's doing this is for money. So ultimately, his biggest motivation is money.
Okay. I mean, I feel like that's most of us when the point of changing things happen.
Yeah.
Right. So, I understand where he's coming from.
Well, money's
Um,
important. I'm not
yeah.
taking that kind of like fact away from it. Money is
Yeah.
definitely important, but I feel like just focusing on money and not even giving a thought to your happiness,
Mm.
I think that's the biggest con for every single person.
Yeah.
Because
Or focusing on one thing. Doesn't have to be money. Just focusing on one specific thing that you know is not doing any good to you.
But wouldn't you say that in today's world, money is basically everything? Because you technically need to survive. You need a roof, you need a shelter, right? You need food, you need water, So you need at least survivable money,
Yeah, of course.
Like-
of course, no.
You need to somehow be able to survive, and you need to make enough to survive.
It's a necessary thing, but it's not something that can give you happiness. At least in my eyes,
Well, I agree that too,
right?
but I feel like
Money buys you experiences in a certain way,
I like that.
right?
I like that.
Not at like people can have money and still not be happy. There's
I mean,
that's
that's the
normal.
life.
That's
That's the
like-
life
that's
of
like-
actually
like normal.
millionaires.
Yeah, we can speak on them behalf, right? Like
Yeah.
again, but it goes both ways. Like people who doesn't have money won't be happy. People who also have all the money, they still won't be happy.
Yeah.
So where do you find that middle ground of finding that happiness?
I don't think you can find that middle ground. I think it's based on your experiences
Yeah.
and based on how you take those experiences,
Mm-hmm.
whether positive or negatively,
Yeah.
is gonna affect those choices that you make in
Mhm.
your life. But I feel like just based on the example that I give you,
Mm-hmm.
you can see how people would blindly follow and focus on the cons,
The cons.
which is the negative
Yeah.
things
But
in life, more than the positive. There's rarely
yeah, like-
anybody that does it.
it goes back to the point where like is it gonna be is it positive for them? It's a negative for you. It's a vice versa thing.
True,
Exactly
true.
like you said in the beginning, right? Something that can be a positive for you can come across a negative, and then vice versa.
But I feel like there's a fine line of what can be a total negative and a total positive thing.
Of course, yeah.
There's a fine line of like, because like commonly, if you put a 10 group of people, right, they will agree with that. If you have 10 people like me, right, in the same mindset, which there's billions of people out in the world that would agree with me. But at the same time, right, this is one of those common things. Right? When you sit down in a group, right, like let's say for example of a group, of a friend circle, we have to sit down and talk about what's the most common thing that's been focused on these days. We can all agree that it's the negative things. We all focus on negative, the first thing, because that's the first thing that comes to our mind. It's like, you know, Spider-Man, like that sense of
tingly senses.
Yeah, you know, what do you call that? The sense of responsibility or something like that. It's like the sixth senses.
Okay.
It's like your sixth senses pop up. You're like, oh, let me look at what the negative outcome is going to be of this particular situation, or this particular problem.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like we immediately jump to that con.
Yeah.
Then because our friend circle is, we're the people, we're the type of the people that talk about things, right? We focus, but we have to completely sit with the random 6 other people. I guarantee you, the first thing that would be like
very
negative.
Very negative. I
you know,
agree.
So
agree with that.
I feel like
Agree
that's
with that.
just the first thing that they focus. Then maybe they will look at the other things.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why even focus
Just
on that
to
first?
begin with.
You know?
You don't. Yeah.
It's important.
It's important.
It's important to look at the negative things. I'm not saying that completely ignore it.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that when you first, or at least so far, people that I've met who has focused on negative things first, or negative experience, or negative energy first, will never even consider positive energy, positive experience, or positive thoughts.
Yeah.
So I feel like, why don't you reverse it, right? Focus on the positive first.
It's very hard. Like I've talked to a few people, and it's always hard. So that's why the trying portion from your end comes in, right?
Yeah.
You have to keep trying to change their mindset.
Yeah.
But yes, we'll cut that short.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes on deck right now. As you can see.
I'm actually like just I'm like going this.
Yeah.
You know. But
yeah.
That's because it's getting dark out here.
Dark, yeah. But no, again, thank you guys for
weather.
watching and everything, supporting us like Rushi mentioned before, and appreciate all the support that you guys have given us. Yeah. And then yes, please give us your thoughts and your experiences, what you think we're wrong at, like what you think we can improve ourselves in. Yeah.
Well, I feel like, obviously, I personally feel like nobody's wrong or right, because everybody has their own ways of defining wrong or right.
What are your thoughts?
But let us know in the comments what are your thoughts on things. You know, you don't have to write us paragraph, but you can say, oh, you know, like, this is what I would say about this particular
situation,
things
or
that
whatever
about.
Is going on in your life.
Yeah.
So
always
like to hear that.
Let us know.
Yes.
And then obviously, thank you for supporting. Like you said before, you know, I've also had a lot of people reaching out to me, like I mentioned in previous video. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for supporting, even though, you know, we're on this journey to find peace for us, which I feel like truly we can find the right peace, because it can change time to time. So we're just on a journey to like kind of like grow as a person, you know, and be grateful for things and be positive about things.
Yeah.
So if there's anything that you guys want us to talk about, write down in the comments. Yeah. And other than that, I think it's time to say peace out.
Peace out.
I think
cheers.
We'll say it to the tea time.
Tea time.
Peace out.
Anybody got